Good morning. This is part one of our new teaching that we're going to be doing, and we're going to title this "Faith for Healing." And of course, you could really tie this in with anything that we receive from our Creator, Yahuah. We have to receive it by faith. Now, what I mean by faith, a lot of people really don't understand when you use the word faith or what you're really talking about. So let's use the Scripture's definition, about faith. So we're going to do that by going to the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, and I'm going to read at verse 1 and give you the Scripture's definition of what faith is. Now, faith isn't like, what faith are you like, Methodist, Jewish, Catholic or anything like that. We're not talking about that aspect of faith. We're talking about the Bible or the Scripture's definition of what the term faith is. And the Scriptures declares, without faith, it's impossible to please Yahuah. For he that cometh to Yahuah must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. And so we're going to, again, I'm going to read it in verse 1 here of chapter 11. It gives the definition. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I'm going to read that one more time. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So, what this is saying is that, it says faith is the substance. In other words, that it is something that's tangible, but it's not tangible, say, where you can feel it, but it is something that's real. It's a substance of things hoped for. The hope that we get is through the Scriptures. You might be attacked with some sickness in your body, and the hope that you have is to be well. In other words, hope is a vision or something that you desire. You desire to be well. You desire to be completely made whole and complete. You desire to have to be free of any kind of pain in your body if you're having any kind of physical pain because of sickness or discomfort because of any kind of sickness. You desire not to have those feelings that you're having. You want to be made whole or complete. And so you start out in hope. Hope actually is gained through the Word. We actually gain hope that there is hope. See, if there was no provision for you to be healed scripturally, and I'm talking about physical healing here, because that's what we're really talking about on these sessions here on physical healing. If there was no provision made, in other words, if Yahuah didn't declare something in His Word regarding our physical healing, then we would have no hope. In other words, to turn to Him. People that are sick in your bodies, you have a choice of either going to a medical doctor, and getting all the help that you can from them. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to a medical doctor if you're sick in your body, because most people have no really revelation and understanding of the Scriptures concerning the will of Yahuah, concerning His provision that He's made for us for the healing of our bodies. A lot of times people would turn to Yahuah as a last resort. In other words, they'll go to every medical doctor they can go to receive healing, and then when they can't do any more, then they'll turn to Yahuah. Well, why don't you turn to Yahuah first? But most people can't, because they have no revelation or understanding of His provision. They don't know what His will is, and it's impossible for you to believe for something that you don't know what the will of Yahuah is. In other words, if you're not convinced 100% that it's Yahuah's will for you to be made whole or healed, then you're not going to turn to Him for healing. Well, you might just throw a prayer out there and say, pray for me that I'll be healed. But again, those types of prayers seldom ever work, simply because there's no faith based upon their prayer. The Messiah said, "What things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them, and then you shall have them." If believing had nothing to do with you receiving, then why would Yahushua, the Messiah, say that what things soever you desire, see, the desire is the hope, when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. Now, most people want to have them, and then they'll believe it. And it doesn't work that way. You have to believe first, and then you shall have them. Now, the reason you can believe, see, and this is what the scripture is saying right here in Hebrews chapter 11, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. In other words, how do you know that you're healed when you have, say, there's no evidence that you're healed in your physical body? How do you know that? You know it. You have a revelation. You have an understanding that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's, in other words, it's information that you have gleaned not because of your five senses or your senses, what you feel, you see. It has nothing to do with the five senses. How we contact or receive natural information or knowledge. This is knowledge. This is information that you gain. You're not using your five physical senses to receive from. And the only way that can happen is through the Word here. The Word will actually that will open up your understanding and will provide the knowledge that you have what you've prayed for. This is really good when you grab hold of this. I know it may be new to you, but I promise you that if you'll stay with this, if you'll continue to study this out, that you'll begin to see this, and as your eyes are open, it'll put you in a position of receiving your physical healing in your body, because Yahuah wants you well. I'm going to stop here now, and we'll pick back up on our next session, and we're talking about faith for healing, how you can develop your faith in order to receive your healing. And so I'll encourage you to stay with us as we go through the scriptures here and show you how faith relates to us receiving our physical healing of our bodies. And it's faith not in ourselves. It's not some kind of thing that we work up. It's actually faith in the word of Yahuah and what promises that he has made to us in his word. Thank you again. I love you. Yahuah loves you. And we'll see you on our next session. Shalom.